What is up, everybody? Welcome to our show where we're not wrestling with our budget. We're not wrestling with our hangovers. We're not wrestling with cold weather or warm weather. It's perfect fall weather, at least here in Chicago. I hope so back in Buffalo and wherever, Arizona, wherever we are around the world. We're all over the place. This is a really, we're a, we're a traveling, globe-trotting group here today.
We're scattered for sure. Yeah.
But wherever
Hell yeah.
we are wrestling with emotion.
Indubitably.
Facts. We got a lot to get into today too. We've got WWE Fastlane tonight, which is shaping up to be a really fun show, in ring and big, and who knows what surprises the E has up their sleeve. We'll get into some of those talks ahead of time too, but we'll start where we always start here. I'll start with you, Ernie Green. What is your favorite thing going on in the grand world of wrestling right now?
Well, I think the low-hanging fruit would be talking about how LA Knight is making his ascent right now, but I'm not going to go with that. I really love the bloodline they talk about there in the bottom of the third inning, and I could honestly at this point it is getting a little bit stale in my opinion, even though it's still pretty good. But Rhea Ripley and the way that she is taking over the Judgment Day and kind of run roughshod to be the leader and everything that's going on with that has kind of been way more interesting in my opinion because Dominic's or Poppy, but he also lost the belt. So there's a lot of things going on. And then with this truce, with the truce that they made with the bloodline last night, which by the way, I don't see lasting past tonight. I think I'll get into that later. But I just think it's interesting that I think the Judgment Day right now is the most interesting thing going on in WWE.
What about you, Partham?
Well, wrestling overall, I would think MJF's continued development as the babyface scumbag, as it were. I mean, we haven't seen this side of MJF where the crowd's behind him and he's playing to them. He still refers to them as the poorest, so to speak, but now that's probably going to be his colloquialism, if you will, for his supporters and fans, other than devil worshippers, I guess, which might tick off a few people. But seeing where his relationship with Adam Cole, even though he's currently sidelined with an injury, is going to progress, I think is pretty interesting. The other thing now going on, now that Adam Copeland has made his debut in AEW, of course, you knew he was going to go right to Christian Cage, and whether they were going to be allies or enemies at the start, Adam wanted to be allies, and Christian's like, F yourself, quite literally. And I'm just waiting for the absentee father promo that Christian is inevitably going to pull on his friend, because you know that's coming at some point.
Yeah, I will acknowledge both of you. My favorite storyline in WWE is also Judgment Day. I love the MJF stuff, the Jay White promo. Unbelievable. When that match comes, that's going to be crazy. But I think I got to agree with your last thing you addressed, Partham. I think Adam Copeland right now has my attention in AEW and all of the wrestling world with Christian Cage. I mean, that's just who thought we would be here in 2023 where Christian Cage, Adam Copeland are in an AEW ring. Christian's got a title over his shoulder and he's saying, go fuck yourself to Adam Copeland. I mean, you can't write this shit better than that. And I'm just glad we're here. What a time to be alive for a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I've been saying it for a while. I feel like on these shows that it's the golden age of wrestling, but it really is. And the free agency has been exciting to see too. We've already seen two big free agents move. Jade Cargill obviously got the whole rollout from WWE. We haven't seen her debut yet. Maybe tonight, big PLE, whatever, potential, who knows. But and then obviously you guys talking about Adam Copeland. But my favorite thing, I'm glad none of you mentioned it, has been Toni Storm and the timeless Toni Storm debut on Wednesday night. One of the best characters, just developments in wrestling I've seen in a long time. And this is someone who I was already thought the world of as a performer. And she's so young, still has so much. She could just do this for the next 15 years if she wanted to and probably get by because it's just interesting and quirky enough. And there's so much you could do. But really excited to see where that goes. And hopefully it's a sign of bigger and better things for the women's division in AEW coming down. And that's a great segue. There is a big women's match on Tuesday night in AEW, and just Tuesday night in general. Before we talk about tonight,
we
have you here. We got to talk about Tuesday night because it's Sean Ross Sapp tweeted last night. He's like, I can't wait for WrestleMania on Tuesday night. And it really
Yes.
was like, it's
Seriously.
between the two programs and however you're going to decide to watch them, it's crazy. Like, it's a loaded night of wrestling all the way around. And I think I can speak for all of us. I won't be able to watch live Tuesday because Tuesday I have slow pitch softball and was not expecting wrestling Nirvana to happen on a random Tuesday. So I'm going to experience
None of
this
us were.
Wednesday night and just watch them back to back as like WrestleMania and just enjoy everything after the fact. But how excited are you, Ernie? I want to ask you and Mike specifically because I never watched any Attitude Era wrestling. And you guys ought to experience that. Is this are you going to be flipping back and forth? Or are you going to be just two screen in it? Or like, what's the ideal way do you think to experience the Tuesday Night War as it is? Because there's something for everybody, like what you want out of a wrestling fan Tuesday. Both.
Unfortunately for me, I'm not going to be available on Tuesday either. So I'm going to watch it probably at night, but I think it's hilarious. Back in the day, I would go on this new thing called the internet. Believe it or not, when I was that old, I'm that old, and I would go on and they would say like, there'd be websites. This is what's going to happen on Raw. This is what's going to happen on Nitro, and I would pick which one I wanted to watch, and I would tape the other one. So I just think this whole thing's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. I don't really think it's like a vindictive thing as much as it is the two companies just trolling each other by just stacking the card back and forth. Like I really don't think it's a serious thing on either side. I just think it's hilarious that they're there's like stacking upon stacking upon stacking, and it's only Saturday. So who the heck knows what's going to happen between now and Tuesday? You know what I'm saying? Like WWE could bring Ric Flair in, and AEW could make a crazy debut or just add another crazy match.
Yes.
And it's just hilarious that this is happening. Does it bring me back to the Attitude Era? Kind of, but the Attitude Era was like serious. Like one of them was going to die.
That's true. Yeah.
Both companies are in great shape. They're not. Neither of them are going anywhere. They're financially secure. Good. They have way more good things going on than bad. Both companies, but it is pretty funny to see what's happening this week.
Well, me personally, I have a TV right here in my bedroom and one other in my living room, so I can double screen it all I want, just run back and forth between rooms. Or maybe you can get a tablet and your phone and double screen that way. Yeah. But my thinking back to the Attitude Era, I mean, I was always partial to WWF myself, and I'd click over to WCW or change over to WCW if we were in the middle of a match that maybe didn't mean as much or a segment that wasn't going anywhere. It was always funny because they always replayed Nitro right after the live one. So if you didn't watch, you could watch WWF first and then watch WCW if you were amenable to staying up till 1 or 2 at night. But as far as this one goes, I mean, it is one-off, and it is funny to see them just loading. You got John Cena in Carmelo Hayes' corner, and now they announced that Paul Heyman is going to be in Braun Breaker's corner for some reason. I didn't know Braun Breaker was going to be part of the Bloodline, but anyway. Cody Rhodes is going to have his major announcement in the vein of Tony Khan, which is probably going to be a Dusty Rhodes Tournament Cup Classic, something like that. But did you guys see, I believe, last night on SmackDown, the commercial for NXT and how it ended, or the sound and how it ended?
Yes.
I didn't watch.
Dead Man Coming.
Mm-hmm.
The Dead Man Cometh.
Come on, man.
All it was a simple gong at the very end of the promo.
Oh, come on.
Guys, I posted it to you. You guys are not look at no one pays attention to me, Partham.
Hey, I was
well, he's about
I was occupied, okay? Sorry.
Fair enough.
I saw the gong, and that is amazing.
Crazy.
Guys, Undertaker showing up on NXT is just never something I would have imagined in life.
What the fuck, dude?
Ernie, when you say it's hilarious, like that's just hilarious to me. Like Undertaker in the Performance Center doing his whole if he comes out in his entrance, it's gonna be surreal.
Bro, you know what? Go ahead.
Keep in mind he said he won't do any like Dead Man entrance again. He'll do the fucking American Badass.
Yeah.
So imagine him coming down with the motorcycle in the Performance Center.
Well, that ramp's like 10 feet. So
I know.
Maybe he wouldn't bring out the motorcycle. He'll just come out in his leather jacket or whatever.
Yes.
You know, when we talked about tribal combat, and my buddy Joe, he's like, we just need all the Samoans for this match. Like any Samoan who's ever wrestled needs to be involved in this match and just make it absolutely wild. And I kind of feel that way about Tuesday. Just bring everybody back on both sides. I just want chaos. Just bring anybody who's ever been a part of things. Just bring back just to troll each other's side. They both enjoy doing. They both enjoy trolling the other side. Just have a lot of fun and just get stupid.
Let's have Hulk Hogan get in the ring and tell some tall tales or something. I don't know.
God, stop.
Well, by the way, he's banned from AEW. Don't forget.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony Khan gave him and his ex-wife, the permanent ban back in the day.
Yeah,
Probably a good idea.
okay.
keep him away
Yeah,
from
okay.
there.
Interesting.
All right, yeah, we're excited about the Tuesday Night War, but let's get into what we're here for. WWE Fastlane tonight, big show. I mean, the thing about the Triple H era of booking is that every major show has felt like a big show. Matches that these cards have been smaller, the matches feel like they have importance, and honestly, they've all pretty much delivered. And this card with just these 5 matches, right? We just have 5 matches, I think, according to Wikipedia here, but they are a lot of there's a lot that could happen in these matches. I'm interested in all of them for different reasons. We'll start off
CM Punk.
Too soon.
the tag team championships,
Had to say it.
the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, who could be the man of the night, potentially, depending on how you think this show goes, and Finn Balor versus Jey Uso, tagging with Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso looking to win the tag team championships. I believe this would be obviously the first time without Jimmy, and Jimmy in another tag match on the show. So I'll start with you, Slick. The Judgment Day just beat Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at the last show to win these titles. Do they lose? That Cody Rhodes don't lose though, and Jey Uso really doesn't lose that much. What do you think happens here?
So when I was reading the match on paper, like if titles weren't on the line here, it would obviously be Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. But I think titles on the line, they don't want to take them off the Judgment Day. Although it would add so much more if the Judgment Day were to lose, it would add so much more incentive for Priest to do something later in the night. But I just don't think they put the titles off the Judgment Day. So for that reason, I'm just going to go with the Judgment Day. I have no idea what the hell they're going to do with this. They have a lot of ways they could go with this. I'm excited to see. But I don't think they're going to take the titles off the Judgment Day. There's going to be a lot of chicanery here. I think we could all agree on that. So I'm going to say Judgment Day retains.
Yeah, I agree with you, Slick. It's too soon to take the titles off of Judgment Day. You can see the cracks forming, little pieces here and there. But for now, everybody's a united front. They're all one big happy family, more or less. Jey Uso doesn't lose and Cody Rhodes doesn't lose. But this is the first time they've tagged together. They haven't, had much of an association until Jey Uso came over to Raw. And besides the fact that they're on friendly terms, I don't see them, sticking together for the long run. And it's been long rumored that Cody Rhodes is eventually going to be going over to SmackDown in a sort of delayed trade for Jey Uso. And that's how he's going to reconfront the Bloodline and Roman Reigns by extension. So I could see Jey maybe taking the pin, but yeah, there's going to be chicanery and shenanigans and skullduggery and all that usual stuff, especially with the rest of the Judgment Day at ringside. I saw someone suggest that maybe Drew McIntyre gets involved and that solidifies his heel turn or something. They were trying to put him and the formerly employed Matt Riddle as a tag team, and that was going to be a thing going forward.
The Mick Riddle.
Mick Riddle.
That would have been a hell of a name. But whoever gets involved, someone's going to get involved to, not take the shine off of Cody and Jey too much in a losing effort. Yeah, if the titles weren't on the line, Jey and Cody would win in a romp, but the Judgment Day's got to retain for now. It's not quite time for them to stop dropping the titles and having everything fall apart yet. So I would say the Judgment Day.
This match is going to – there's no way this match is going to end clean. 0% chance. There's going to be a lot of tomfoolery. There's going to be a lot of flim-flam.
I love
All the words.
Yeah. I figured you guys. I just wanted to add some too. That and I do think that this match is just going to end up in some sort of all-out brawl. I do think that Jay and Cody win the match, but not the titles, like disqualification or count out or something. I do think they're going to stand tall, and I do this whole pay-per-view seems like it's setting up for a potential War Games match now. But what they had between the 8 combatants that were in the middle of the ring yesterday. But I have another opinion about later on in the show. But this match, I think that Jay and Cody are going to win, but not the title.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say that's one of the bolder predictions we've had on Wrestling with Emotion.
I also have a prediction for later in the show, and I'm also picking Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, and I'm picking them to win the titles because I think that they're showing up on SmackDown next week when Roman Reigns returns. And how do you think Roman's going to feel when Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are holding the tag titles in front of him in the Bloodline segment with Solo and Jimmy? I think this is the start to the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns storyline that we are going to get towards WrestleMania, the way to connect Cody naturally into the bloodline and everything. And him tagging together with Jay is a real good way to get back at Roman. And I think that's the end of the thing. And the Judgment Day has had the cracks. Rhea was out there on Monday like, listen, if y'all lose, you're dead to me, basically. She told Dom
don't come home, Dom.
Don't come home, Dom. So
Right.
Rhea is fed up. So if they mess up
I
for
saw
any
someone
reason,
say on Twitter that was like the equivalent of, I forget who it was back in the day, but it was like, you don't get sex if like you lose that title.
So my ending, the way I would book this ending is JD McDonough tries to get involved. Damian Priest gets mad at him. Damian Priest getting distracted, gets crossroaded after. Rhea gets pissed at Damian. They're screaming at him. And that's where we leave this match after that. And we leave Damian Priest a little angry with his Money in the Bank going off the other way for the rest of the night. But so we're split there. So we'll see what happens. Let's go to the next match. The Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and a mystery partner. We love a good mystery partner as Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro got attacked last night. They're facing Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Guys, I think the mystery partner is going to be pretty cool. I don't know about you.
I mean, who do you think it's going to be? No, I'm serious. Like,
he just told
It went
you
right over your head. He's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you don't know who it's going to be, then I spit in your face.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. That'll
Don't touch me an apple.
Oh, yeah. So, dare I say that'll be cool as hell.
Very cool. I think that's what the PW Insider reported that when I saw the mystery partner, it's the first thing that popped in my head. How excited would you be, Slick, to see Carlito team up and join the LWO? Maybe that would be pretty crazy.
I mean, that'd be awesome. We all saw the pop in Puerto Rico. Like that's what wrestling's all about. Like, I know it's cliche, but like a guy like Carlito, like even if like he didn't get what he really deserved in the company, like back when he was full time, comes back, gets that Puerto Rico pop. I think that all hit home with us. That was awesome. So that'll be sick. Hopefully, that's the mystery partner, and I think Bobby Lashley has already established like some heat with the Street Profits. So I think I'm going to go with the LWO and Carlito. If they bring in the mystery partner, I don't see why they would have that team lose. So I'm going to go with the LWO.
I might agree, except the LWO always loses. And the Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are just getting going as a team. And everybody's saying how revived the Street Profits are now that they're with Bobby Lashley and they're this new hurt business, so to speak, even though they don't say that, call it that. Mm-hmm. But I've seen some people suggest that the mystery tag partner would be Randy Orton, but that I don't think that would make a lot of sense. I don't think he would fit into there. Yeah, all the indications that it will be Carlito, but despite Carlito's coming back, I think it'll be another one-off. I haven't heard anything about Carlito being brought in full-time, even though there were rumors about that going back to his last appearance in Puerto Rico. So I'm saying Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits is going to still stand tall.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's who it's going to be. I do think that I did read that he was signed. They just had nothing for him creatively as of yet. I do think if he, I think this is his re-debut, but I don't think he's going to permanently align himself with the LWO. I think that's just a one-off, and he'll go do his own thing. And but Lashley and the Street Profits are, I mean, even though Lashley's been champion multiple times now, you want to talk about a guy who's underutilized. Even though he's been multiple time champion, there's a guy, and the Street Profits are amazing.
100%.
So I really think that, the powers that be now, Triple H are going to really put a rocket ship behind, the Street Profits and Bobby. They love factions now, and the factions, the way they're going about them, are doing great. So I don't really see the Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits losing tonight.
I do not either. I think that you guys said it perfectly, that they just started, and we haven't seen Bobby Lashley even wrestle that much since he came back and aligned himself with the Street Profits. Like last night was his first, I think, singles match since he's returned and everything. So keep them looking strong. LWO, Ray's champion. They love pitting the mid-card champions in these situations and having them lose. So I think Santos probably takes the pin in this team if it's Carlito and Ray there, but regardless of the outcome of this match, I'm so excited. I love 6-man tags, and this can be like a special 6-man tag. When you talk about Montez Ford and Ray and Santos Escobar jumping around there, and a guy like Bobby Lashley and Angelo Dawkins and the power they're going to have, like, this is like a perfect matchup for me. I'm so excited just to watch this match. And Rey Mysterio is my favorite wrestler ever, so just keep seeing him going. Can't beat that.
One thing about last night, you had Lashley versus Ray. I only caught part of it. Was it explicitly a non-title match? Because Ray's the champion, right?
Yeah, it was non-title.
Pinning your champions. What a WWE thing.
Yep. But so we shall see. But we shall see what happens tonight there. WWE Women's Championship. Speaking of a tough situation, I feel like for Io Sky, one of their champions, a triple threat match. And anytime Charlotte Flair is looming, everybody's in this chat, our group chat's anxiety level just raises a little bit, because Charlotte is always looming, and maybe she's champion after this. Asuka and Io had a great match a couple weeks ago for the title on SmackDown. The triple threat match should be, the work in this match is going to be incredible. I'll lead off here and we'll go to Ernie. I'm picking Io to retain. And I feel like it'll be like a close match all the way through. I just can't see them taking Io off in this. I wouldn't do it yet. I would have it happen in a singles match to somebody. And maybe it's Charlotte down the line, but I just feel like this is a placeholder to get to like a bigger Io Charlotte match or Io Asuka match at the next pay-per-view. So I'm going Io.
I think the end-off payoff with Io is going to be Io Bailey eventually for the title, and they're not anywhere close to that yet. I think there's little mini cracks in their foundation. They've had them for months now, and nothing's really come to fruition. So, and that might just be because Dakota Kai can't wrestle yet. So maybe that's going to be when they make the turn, because she's still coming back from the knee injury. But for this match, Io was. By the way, I was at Io versus Asuka, one of the best women's matches I've ever seen live. Yeah. It was incredible, and. But this match, I think it's going to steal the show, because Charlotte, we do have anxiety about the fact that she wins the title all the time and it's getting tiresome. But every big match she delivers in the ring. There's no doubt about that. And I think tonight is, in my opinion, at least you can disagree, Partham, but tonight Io is going to come through and win, and she will win the match.
I just wish Charlotte Flair would deliver on her moonsaults with such regularity. You know what I mean? You know what? Charlotte Flair is like Thanos. She is inevitable. But that doesn't mean she is imminent in this particular case. Okay. If they were going to, put the title back on her and do the whole thing over again since her latest return, they would have done it by now. And they wouldn't do it at a B pay-per-view on the verge of one of the major pay-per-views. So for the time being, I'm going Io Sky. And yes, Ernie, Bailey would be the real ideal match to get to, unless, Charlotte starts throwing her weight around and says, I want to be the champion again, but whatever. For now, Io Sky's going to retain.
So the way I see it is, I think it like someone pointed out, it is a bit too soon to take this title off Io. And usually that early in the championship reign, in a three-way match, I'm almost always gonna pick the champion to retain, especially this early. I've heard rumors that Kyrie maybe debuts here.
That would be, yeah, that's a great point.
Who knows? Sorry, I'm in a fucking animal house, I suppose.
That's okay.
But yeah, hell yeah. I gotta go with Io, but I gotta say this match might steal the night. Like this will be a really solid, good match. If I don't know if you don't watch women's wrestling, and you want to start like this match is going to be a showcase for sure.
Yeah, it is. I agree. I'm very excited about this. Do you think that? So you picked Io, right, Slick?
Yes.
Speaking of women's wrestling, we talked about her earlier. Jade Cargo yet to debut anywhere yet. Do you think she shows up tonight on the PLE? I don't know if it has to be after the women's championship match, but there's one match. There's only 5 things happening. I feel like Jade showing up and having a segment makes a lot of sense to fill another 10, 12 minutes.
So that's the only women's match?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, remember,
Honestly,
Io Sky is the champion of SmackDown, and Jade has been rumored to debut on Raw.
That's why I'm wondering if it's a separate segment where like Nia comes out and is like, I'll challenge anybody on the roster right now, blah, blah, blah. And then Jade
comes in, gets injured out for 9 months.
Oh, God.
Because Nia Jax is
he's just going to slam her.
Existence, please.
Just a big slam.
It's not a speak into existence. It's an inevitability when you work with Nia Jax. But
combining Nia Jax, unless she's retrained herself, she hasn't had any independent matches, right? So she hasn't had any reps. She might still be the same injurer / destroyer that we've known before. And Jade's still needing some experience in the ring. Maybe in WWE terms, she's still a little green, so to speak. So that might be a bad idea to pair them together in any way.
So this is really ominous, guys, but Trainwreck Sports just entered the chat, and I don't know, I don't know who this is. I have an idea.
Is this an AI? Okay.
There we go. It's Maniac.
Trainwreck Sports has gained consciousness. It's become Skynet.
That's what I was worried about. I was like, did we just activate something in the ether that I don't know? But
that would be really amazing. You can't spell Trainwreck without AI, so it's inevitable. But we were in the chat. I was gonna go along with it. But also there's enough Mask and Devil storylines right now in wrestling. So you guys are great. Hey, great show so far. I agree with everything you guys have said. Great points and looking forward to a big fast lane tonight, obviously.
Yeah, so let's keep it rolling. We got 2 matches left. We have this co-main event. I would assume they're going to bull it as maybe. It feels like a co-main event. It feels like in another world they would main event with this show or with this match. LA Knight and John Cena, the super tag team, taking on the brothers, Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. And Jimmy Uso's been wilding out, guys. He's been acting up. He's acting like Roman. Last night he was like, Roman's never even here. He can't make any decisions. I feel like that's not going to go well. How do you feel about Jimmy Uso right now, Slick?
I don't feel great about him at all. I think he's acting a fool. He's not. He's out of pocket. He needs to stay in his lane. And if you need anyone to tell him that the best, I think Paul Heyman would be the guy to do it. You saw the shock on his face when Jimmy went. I mean, bro, what are you doing, brother? You are not the tribal chief. We do not acknowledge Jimmy Uso. I'm disgusted with his actions.
Hold up. Do you acknowledge Rob Ryan though?
Hey.
Oh my God!
You gotta acknowledge Rob Ryan.
As a matter of fact, I do. One's up for Rob Ryan.
There we go.
Yeah. Hell yeah. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Hanging in there. Excited for a pretty good pay-per-view tonight.
I agree.
Typical Rob Ryan with a run-in mid-show.
I know, right?
You got
off the top rope out of nowhere.
All right, so Rob, real quickly, we went through Judgment Day versus Cody and Jey Uso. Lashley and the Profits versus LWO, and Io Sky versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Really quickly, what are your picks for those?
So I would love to see main event Jey Uso and Cody team up and win it, but obviously Judgment Day runs WWE, so Judgment Day is going to win there. I think Bobby and the Street Profits win that one, but I think Carlito may debut tonight. Finally get to see Carlito. And then for the women, I'm going to go with Io. Like I was listening before, it's too early to take the belt off her.
How about you, Maniac? Judgment Day, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, Lashley Street Profits versus LWO, and the women's match, Io Sky, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair. What are your thoughts? Quick thoughts.
I mean, let's face it. If you're not picking the LWO, you're just not cool. And simply, I think you guys highlighted all the points perfectly. It's just a little odd to put it on Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, although I think it was Partham who said, Roman Reigns showing up with them as tag team champs would be hysterical. But I'm going to go for Judgment Day to retain right now. Judgment Day has a good thing going. I think they need to keep some of the core going, even if Micah's Damian cashes in later in the night. What's the one right now? LA Knight Cena versus Bloodline?
Yeah.
On this one, I mean, how do you not give this to the fans? I mean, they've been waiting a month and a half for this match. You're not going to take LA Knight's momentum away now. LA Knight and Cena win. And Cena gives him the arbitrary arm raise after the match as well.
We haven't even predicted this one yet, have we?
No, we're
Well,
just
no, because you babbled incessantly for 5 minutes.
And we have well, not to mention we keep getting these.
Are you shooting on me right now, Ernie?
No, I'm just telling you what happened. I don't know.
Don't make me go there, brother.
Go there. I don't care. No, go ahead.
No, it's all good. I guess if I'm picking right now, how do you not give this to the fans? Like I was just going on this rant about Jimmy Uso when Jake asked me how I feel. As much as Solo is a star, Jimmy Uso is a prick, and how do you not give the fans LA Knight and John Cena, like Maniac said? This is a simple pick. I feel like I'm going LA Knight and John Cena. If anyone feels otherwise, then they'll be damned.
How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, how can you not give it to, as both Maniac and Slick has already said, how can you not give this to LA and Cena? This is the dream friggin' over. Cena's been over forever, and now we're seeing the LA Knight over, like, I don't know, something like scramble over at Easy Eggs. So how can you not give it a Knight and Cena? And, Solo and Jimmy's trying to be the tribal chief, just like Slick was rambling before. He is not.
Shut up.
Roman isn't even the tribal chief either. It's the main event Jey Uso, but that's the point. And Solo's just Solo. So LA Knight and Cena.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a layup. You're not going to have LA Knight's push be derailed, and you're not going to have Cena taking a pin. Well, you had Cena take a pin at WrestleMania, but that turned out to be for naught. There's no reason for Jimmy and Solo to win right now. They're going to lose, and they're going to irritate the tribal chief a little bit more just before his return. So, yeah, Cena and Knight are going to go over.
Yeah, and, we haven't even, and the thing is Jimmy is not even, confirmed to be a part of the bloodline. And the way he's acting, I just think there's way too much. There's way too many things that could happen in terms of more tomfoolery in this match. The Judgment Day interferes and fails. The Solo and Jimmy try to do something dastardly and it fails. There's just so many outs to where Cena and LA Knight are going to win the match. I have no doubt in my opinion that LA Knight and Cena are going to win.
I just want to say one thing off Slick's back of his little rant there. I do enjoy Jimmy's character. I just haven't.
Why am I getting
easy? I do enjoy Jimmy's character trying to act like the tribal chief and trying to move in on that spot. I just haven't heard an explanation to this point. I mean, this is WWE where we didn't get an explanation for Brock Lesnar attacking Cody Rhodes.
He thinks he's the.
So it's horse shit. It's horse shit that we're 2 months plus from SummerSlam and we haven't gotten anything resembling a tangible explanation for why or to make it make sense. All I'm saying is that this happened in AEW. This is exactly like UPL versus Devin Levi. When Devin Levi allows a bunch of goals, it's like, oh, the defense sucked. When
Oh,
UPL
stop.
allows a bunch of goals, it's like UPL has bad mechanics.
Oh,
WWE
stop.
right now has their head up their ass, and they have the Bloodline is the best thing they've had going for the last 2 years. So they better figure it out and get this story on track because Cody Rhodes has to close this book at some point.
It ain't the third inning anymore, boys.
Bro,
Well, you mean
close the story? He's got to end the novel at this point.
It's a,
by
it's,
the
a,
way,
it's a double
Go
header
ahead,
that
Parker.
nobody wanted to sit through.
it's UPAHL, but I digress.
Damien,
You better watch your lip, Ernie Green. You better watch your lip.
Well,
I'm
all
pissed
my
at you,
wrestling opinions are cool. You know they're outrageous, but I make one comment about a backup goalie in Buffalo, and all of a sudden all heck breaks loose. I love it.
Everyone loses their minds.
Yeah, my bad.
A lot of hijinks in the chat tonight. I like it.
That was out of pocket. My bad.
Real talk though, Ernie, you've been complimentary of WWE last year, you know, with the more things with storylines. Don't you think it is a little ridiculous how Jimmy's just kind of waiting in the wind here for essentially for Roman to come back to TV?
It has not been a seamless 2 months without Roman, and it's been. I'll be the first to admit that the bloodline does not work without Roman. If he's not there for a week or two, that's one thing, but to not be there for 2 months, I mean, they could have put it somewhat on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? Like just do less bloodline-ish stuff, and they've done the exact opposite. They've leaned into it, and I don't think it's been as effective as when Roman's there. Like, you know, Paul Heyman, and the way he holds his phone is so stupid. I want to take the phone out of his hand and punch him in the face. Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing? Who you know, if we were at like a Bills game and a tailgate and we saw some idiot holding his phone like that, we would ridicule them. And the way he holds his phone just annoys the absolute piss out of me. I don't know why. I love Paul Heyman.
Is he trying to hide the screen so they don't see that there's actually nothing on it?
Yeah.
Well,
Something like that?
There's been an angle or two where it's been visible, and he's like, call Roman Reigns, and you see nothing happening.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a little odd.
While I agree, I think we would welcome Paul Heyman at any tailgate.
Oh, I'm
course,
thinking about
of
walking
course.
around the tailgate next week in a suit and just holding my phone like this. People will be all over me. Micah, what do you got for a prediction for this match?
Oh, I mean, John Cena's not coming to lose to Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. I don't think so. Yeah, give me. If we're doing LA Knight and Roman, let's just do it. Fuck it. Do you want to send that out there?
Dude,
Go ahead. I think they're
do
gonna
it,
they're
bro,
gonna
do
send it.
honestly, do it in Saudi.
That's what I feel.
When
like
is
the
Saudi?
Saudi main event?
They're
I
saying
don't
Cena
know.
versus Roman again for Saudi.
Wait, when
Well,
is
Observer said it wasn't yesterday too, so that's all conflicted all over the place. I don't know
The,
if
the,
it's
the
I mean,
Saudi
should be.
the Saudi crowd isn't going to want LA Knight for like 15 to 20 years, right? Once he becomes a classic. Like, that's
Oh,
what they're
he'll
gonna
have
really
to
want him.
He'll
He's
have to
already-
be dead. He'll have to be dead for 10 years before they request him.
Oh my god, dude.
Well, I mean, they would have requested Mr. Perfect versus Yokozuna. in
Yokozuna, yeah.
2019.
Oh, I know.
By the way,
Yeah,
Crown
I
It
Jewel,
would be
November,
fire.
Crown Jewel is November 4th to whoever asked.
Okay,
Yes,
so we
okay,
got a
thank you,
spot in
thank you.
between Survivor Series.
I mean,
there,
bro,
too.
if it LA Knight or John Cena versus Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, I'm fine with either of those if they're gonna go that avenue.
It's going to be one of them because obviously Roman comes back Friday. There's going to be backlash from this match, so it's going to be one of them.
One thought
Mhm.
I'll have about Jimmy Uso, even though his character, whatever you think about his character and whatever logical explanation there might or might not be, he wouldn't be acting like this if Roman was there. So Roman's absence is actually helping him develop his character. But of course, he's going to get, clapped back as soon as the tribal chief gets back.
That's why I would be interested to see if Cody and Jay win and Jimmy loses and Roman comes back next week and they're all in the ring together. Like, what's Roman he's gonna be just mad in general, like mad at everybody. Like Jimmy lost, Solo lost, Jay.
Judgment Day, he authorized the Judgment Day bloodline work together.
Yep.
So
So they blew it too.
You
You know,
remember
like-
the promo that Roman cut on Sammy when he was in the bloodline, when Roman was getting the impression that Sammy wanted to be the tribal chief. You think you want to be the tribal chief? That's exactly what he's going to do to Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. Should be fun. And Kevin and Sammy are still lurking out there too, somewhere. They could be the help in this. You were talking about the chicanery in the first match. Who's going to help Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes? For all we know, it could be Sammy and Kevin coming out. And
we
then
all
fight against them.
We all
You
know
know?
Kevin's more likely to put a steel chair in Sammy's back.
Well,
than
that's
anybody else.
coming. I mean, that's coming. Don't get me wrong.
You better watch
Has
your
been
lip,
crazy
maniac.
lately.
Also, I'm calling it right now. I want to get this on the record. So Cena's going to get the crown jewel spot, no doubt about it. I don't think they'll give LA Knight like a title shot at Royal Rumble, but I bet you that he gets that tweener spot between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania for whatever happens, whether he loses the Rumble and he has the momentum, just like Sammy got
Like
last
the
year.
Chamber,
Elimination
maybe?
Chamber.
I can
Yeah,
see that.
that's what I'm saying, because they always put a fan favorite to face
Bro.
like the title holder in between Mania and that, like, because they want to get you kind of to get the juices flowing.
So I saw an article that Roman's WrestleMania opponent could be determined at Chamber, and as we know, Chamber is in Australia this year. Fucking Grayson Waller effect.
Grayson Waller.
That's not.
Roman
Grayson
really could
Waller.
use the Grayson Waller
Stop.
rub.
Stop. That's not where I'm going with it. I heard that the opponent could be determined there, and The Rock potentially could have a play in the Elimination Chamber, whether it be host or a special guest referee. But I would not be surprised if they do LA Knight versus Roman at a spot like the Elimination Chamber.
I like that. All right, but let's get to the real world championship here. The World Heavyweight Championship.
Don't use that.
Seth?
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. If they're doing it, we're doing it too. Seth
Yeah, I guess.
freaking Rollins, Seth whatever
This
you wanna
fire
call him,
burns.
versus Shinsuke Nakamura, last man standing match. I'll start and bring it to you, Maniac, and go around. I think this is going to be brutal. I think Seth's going to take a beating, but I think whatever the work they wanted to do with Shinsuke, they've already done. He is a threat the rest of the time. I don't think he wins this match. I think Seth escapes, comes out somehow, some way, the valiant babyface winner, and then that Judgment Day Damian Priest music hits, and he cashes in, and he stands tall as the World Heavyweight Champion at the end of the night. I think tonight's the night.
Okay, I don't mind that. I think you're really set in stone with your Damian Priest and your Judgment Day fallout. I think they're saving the Judgment Day fully intact, no issues for Survivor Series. So I'm going to pass on that. I think that this is actually very similar to the storyline they did. Oh wait, did they just pop out? That they did with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, where they did a couple of title chances. And I feel like WWE fans are probably feeling the same way. Like Shinsuke's eventually not going to get it done. Seth Rollins does not need titles. This was a nice title for him to get, and he was definitely the right person to bring it back because he is the face of the WWE and a huge persona. But this was about, to me, from Seth Rollins, putting two guys over properly in title matches that weren't originally put over properly. Finn Balor when he came into WWE on the main roster, and Shinsuke Nakamura from his Royal Rumble fallout against AJ Styles. I think eventually Shinsuke Nakamura is going to get it done. I think they've also perfected the Shinsuke Nakamura promo style where they don't really need him coming out cutting huge promos. They've kind of turned a corner there with the pre-records and everything like that, and the sneak attacks. I think that we finally see the King of Strong Style ascend to a main title on the roster. And he has been Intercontinental title before, but World Heavyweight Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. And again, it's the great work of Seth Rollins that was able to elevate him to it. Ernie, what do you got?
I'm also going with Shinsuke. Why have this gimmick match if you're not gonna if they're gonna have a rematch? Like I get, like, you can't have this a rematch after rematch, but this is the perfect way to have Seth Rollins lose the title without losing the title. And he can also, there's many ways where he can lose the title. Some surprise person can come out and attack him and knock him down. There's no disqualification. So I do think this is Nakamura's time. I don't think he's going to have the belt all that long, but I do think at this point they're going to transition away from Seth, maybe give him some time off before Rumble Mania season, and this is the perfect way to take the belt off him. I'm not confident with the pick, and this pick is, I'll be honest with you, of all the picks I've made in this chat, this is the one with more heart than brains than any other pick I've ever made, but I'm going Nakamura.
Real quick, is there a talking head out there lurking that could potentially interfere? Because obviously that would be big for Nakamura as well. Just trying to think. Like, I'm running the brain before we got Partham's pick. But Partham, go ahead. But yeah, maybe a talking head interferes in that angle, Ernie.
What are you talking about? Pat McAfee or something?
No. I'm talking about like a manager,
That's
like on the microphone type role. But like like they interfere on Nakamura's behalf, win the title, and then they're his talking piece going forward when he is in the.
Well,
ring
yeah, he
cutting
could use
promos,
one of
stuff like
those,
that.
but no one
100%.
comes to mind unless Paul Heyman's going to pull double duty or something.
Don
Yeah.
Callis, Shinsuke Nakamura is in the Don.
The family's
Callis.
everywhere.
Oh my God.
The family's everywhere.
Shut your mouth.
Well, anyway, Shinsuke has been doing good work. They have been smart enough to shift to the pre-recorded promos where we can have some subtitles and Shinsuke can just pop off in Japanese and we can get the translations and whatnot. But I don't think Shinsuke's been doing well enough for long enough that they're confident in putting the World Heavyweight Championship on him. Seth is the flagship of that show right now, and as bad as his back is, as much as he needs time off, he's been doing this for a while with a bad back and other things. So there's no reason to do it now. They're just highlighting it for effect. And the fact that they're highlighting that and making a last man standing match where anything goes and Seth might not be able to get it because of his bad back, that's just the hero having to overcome, immense odds or something to that effect. They're just making you think that it's a good time for him to lose the title or a good excuse for him to lose the title, but it's not time for it yet. For Seth to lose the title yet. I would say have him take it to WrestleMania if Damian doesn't cash in at any point until then, and then maybe he can lose it there. Maybe Damian calls a shot or makes it a triple threat match with whoever else Seth might be facing. But I don't think it's time for Seth to lose the title yet. Shinsuke's been doing good, but he hasn't been good enough to be the flagship of the Monday Night Raw. So I say Seth Rollins wins.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with this one. But everything leads me to what's going to happen at Survivor Series. They love the title versus title matchups at Survivor Series. And, they're going to make so much money if it's Roman versus Seth. And then think about who could possibly come out at the end of that to challenge either one of them. So I think they're really looking forward towards that. They make so much money off of the Roman versus Seth matchup at Survivor Series. So I think Seth FN Rollins is going to win this one.
I haven't even thought about Roman Rollins at Survivor Series yet. I've just been thinking about the Survivor Series match. That would be.
I think they're going away from the title versus title with Vince
I
not
don't
being
think
in
you
direct
should
control anymore.
If that's the direction, though, that's a money feud that you can do one time because it's everything. They can bring it all
You guys
together.
are crazy. You think they're going to go away from the one time all year when Raw and SmackDown stars?
But is that a thing?
They've got that.
Is that
though.
still a thing?
No, it's all fucking bullshit. They go on each other's shows every week.
It's tight.
Right.
It's different though. It's not Raw SmackDown. It's world champion versus world
Fair,
champion versus
fair.
WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All right,
Speaking
Frank.
of which, let me get in my prediction. So, while Shinsuke deserves everything that the WWE is willing to give him, Seth Rollins is going to win this match. And if we're talking about real world championships,
Oh no.
Wait. No.
My name
Don't say it.
call me Mystic Slick. I'm making the prediction on the show right now. Survivor Series in Chicago is going to end with Seth Rollins retaining his title against whoever. And the cult of personality is going to hit. And there's going to be a face-off between the best in the world and the visionary. I'm calling it right now, right
Sign
here.
me up.
You can call me Mystic Slick. I swear to God.
You remember?
Aren't you literally going, Jake?
No, it's so expensive. It's
Okay.
so expensive to get in there right now. The Seth
It's been
Rollins.
sold out for like a long time.
Yeah, it's like $300 for the worst seat in there. It's lowest at the moment.
Well,
So
someone please line up, but I digress. Go ahead.
we'll look when it gets closer. But the Rollins, remember Rollins and Riddle, the promo last year, and how vicious it got? And we're like, well, these two really don't like each other. You know who doesn't like CM Punk?
Right.
It's Seth Rollins. So if they put them together and just let them cook a little
And they're
bit,
both
like
from
it's gonna
Chicago,
get
right.
Well, Seth's
Rollins
from
close by.
Iowa,
He's Iowa,
but
close
he
by.
roots for the
Yeah.
Chicago Bears.
He trained in Chicago. He followed Punk up after him in ROH. Was like the world champion after Punk,
All I'm saying
shortly
is
after and
what
after Danielson.
better
There's a lot
way-
that they can go to.
What better way to close out Survivor Series in Chicago than Pepsi Phil and Monday Night Rollins facing off in the middle of a ring? I mean, bro, like I feel like I've said this 3 times this show. What a time to be a wrestling fan.
I'll tell you what, though, WWE needs to start developing their own talent. They can't just continuously poach AEW talent like Jade Cargill and
Stop
CM
it.
Punk, okay?
Oh no!
This is probably
they're gonna poach even more talent like Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali.
John Moxley is WWE.
No, that's AEW. That's AEW is going to poach their talent. Sorry, I got it backwards.
Stop that. John Moxley.
Everybody's flip flopping.
AEW.
Hey,
I-
we're getting-
I
We're
think
getting to
I
the
think
bidding
Micah
war
got
soon.
I think Micah may have gotten a call from Rey Mysterio. I'm not even joking right now. Ernie, you have any wisdom for us to kind of close out this WWE show?
Well, no, this isn't wrestling with wisdom. This is wrestling with emotion. This isn't. I don't want to.
brother.
It's like Slick has said copious times this morning. This is a great time to be a wrestling fan, and there's a lot of good things that can happen tonight. There's a lot of good things that can happen moving forward. That Full Gear show and at the Forum in Los Angeles, which is, by the way, an amazing place to watch sports. So I'm just really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the next pretty much from now until WrestleMania season for both companies. It's going to be a fun time.
Ooh. I actually had a thought about the idea of Damian Priest cashing in, so to speak. Wasn't there a Monday Night Raw where Judgment Day basically beat down Seth Rollins and they stood tall over him, and Damian Priest had the briefcase at that time and they didn't cash in? Everybody's like, what are you doing? You have a prime opportunity right there. So, I mean, the idea that, yeah, it would be a logical opportunity for Damian to try and cash in on Seth after a very brutal last man standing match. But then again, logic often escapes WWE. So
That's why with my Damian prediction, that's the key, is them having to lose early in the night and Rhea getting in Damian's face and really like emasculate, just like bitching him out, like, listen, like, get out of here. Like, you cost us your distrust of everybody and our plan and everything. And that is like the spark to the fire for Priest. But it's go ahead.
Can I just say, with Jade Cargill being WWE bound, Jade and Rhea will have Slick in the most controversial spot he's ever been in.
Are you just talking in the third person?
Yeah, that's the sign for us to take it home here, boys.
Okay, my bad.
No,
I
good.
think you meant compromise, not controversial. But I digress.
Controversial.
No. Wrap it up.
We're gonna save Slick from himself today. We're not wrestling with a hangover or anything else. Budget, schedules. We're wrestling
or fantasies.
Emotion or fantasies. We're wrestling with emotion. Fastlane tonight.
Cesare Rob Ryan.